mean, a lot of these devices are borrowed from other markets, if you will. And even the ones that are customized or specifically designed for ghost hunters, no, they're not. They are usually novelty items that are taken from websites and then encased in a nice 3D printed box to look really cool, and they're marketed directly to paranormal people. And with the claims of it'll detect ghosts and ghosts can interact with it. But there's, for someone like me, I look for the data. Where's the data to back up that claim? You know, where's your consumer reports? I want to see it. I want to see the experiments. I want to see where it's published. Where have you published the data? And not one, zero of these manufacturers of ghost hunting equipment have done anything like that.
Right. And a lot of this stuff that people are buying, they can easily build
for a couple dollars.
For a couple bucks.
I can show you an example. If you want a REM pod, there's your REM pod. That's it. This is $20. You can get off of Amazon. You buy it for $20. You spend a half hour. If you have any kind of skill with tools, all you need to do is solder some wires together, and you have it. I built 3 of these so far, and I put them in. Like, I went to Michael's craft store. I bought one of those little wooden boxes, drilled some holes, mounted the LEDs in them, and I put everything in the box. And that way, when I take it to conferences and I set up my skeptical booth at paranormal conferences, people can pick it up, open it up, and see what's inside.
Oh, that's a great point.
You know, and that's great, because usually you have like the REM pods in that PVC section of pipe. You know, it's all resined and glued, and you can't see anything. You have no idea what's inside. Yeah. So at least this way you get an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. There was I won't mention names here, but he was making some equipment, and somebody had actually took apart one of his devices, and this thing was like super glued like crazy. It wasn't soldered, nothing. All the wires were super glued together. And
me.
And did you do that?
It sounds familiar. Like
you may have. It was quite some time ago.
The REM pod, when I took that apart, the original one that was released, that was nothing. I mean, you had literally had a 4.5-inch PVC coupling. That's what it was from Home Depot. You buy them for like $3. Okay. And then the top layer where the lights were, where the LEDs stuck out and the antenna stuck out, that was a layer of resin. And the light sticks were actually glue sticks, hot glue gun sticks. That's what they were. So when I dug it out, I actually broke off the resin on top and took out chunks. And then again, like I'll show you this is what's inside this box. So it's just a breadboard and some wires. That's your REM pod. This was surrounded by cut up chunks of glue sticks. Like they took long glue stick, cut them in chunks, put it together, and then hot glued everything together. So it was like a 2-inch thick, just layer of glue sticks, and that's what you were paying for.
Let me ask you this: from your digging into it and all that, can you explain how the REM pod works and what it's measuring?
So it's a little difficult. It's good when you have an electronics background. Basically, the antenna creates a magnetic field.
Okay.
So anything that's conductive, including you, if you get near it, you start to complete a circuit, and that's what causes it to. That's the very simplified explanation of it. Sure. But it gets into a lot more. If you ever seen the musical instrument, a theremin. A theremin device. This is actually called a junior theremin device. Okay. If you there, right there, it tells you right on the box. And this is a novelty item. So if you get a big theremin device, it's a touchless musical instrument. It has 2 antennas. One controls tone, one controls volume. And the closer
all the scary movies out there have used them. Woo,
So it's basically an electricity experiment. So when you get close to the antenna, you conduct the field, you complete the circuit, and the more resistance that's in there, as the closer you get to it, the more tone or volume, depending on what you're playing with. And this is just more tone. It doesn't have a volume control on it.
Right.
But it's very simple. One of the main things that can interfere with this is a two-way radio. A simple two-way radio you get at Walmart, hunting stores, whatever. If you key it up and inside a house, I've done it from almost 40 feet away. And I've also done it between floors.
Yeah, we've done that between floors and had our walkies set it off, and we're like, oh, okay.